Hello, and let's talk about potatoes. Are potatoes causing you to gain weight? This is such a common question for anyone who's trying to lose weight because, like, we have heard things like, just having potatoes is not good. Or, like, especially if you belong to a keto community or you have tried keto in the past, your brain has, like, started to think that anything which is high starch is actually going to cause you lose weight. Now, everything works. Like every sort of plan, strategy, diet works if you follow it. And I'm not like particularly talking about a particular plan. I just want you to create something which is yours, something that you like, and you figure out a way to make that plan and start following it. So I am going to address about potatoes this video specifically around, are they like really a problem? Let's explore that, right? So if you think about potatoes, they are not inherently a problem, right? Like it's just a root vegetable. Yes, it has some starch in it. It has more or less carbohydrates. And if you have it like whole potato boiled or roasted, it's not a problem, right? It's pretty low in calories, just like 93 calories for 100 grams. And that's the potato, right? The problem happens when we process it, in the sense when we fry it, when we make chips out of it, when we put a lot of things in it which are not healthy. Like if you're adding a lot of fats, which will obviously increase the calorie, and it might lead to weight gain, especially like if you are someone who has like explored keto, right? Like keto as in fats are good and then you're leaning towards fat, but then if you're combining a lot of these carbohydrates with it, it's just going to increase the calories, and then it's going to cause bigger problems because if you're going keto, the carbohydrate load needs to be very very low. But if you're not going keto, then if you're adding excess fat on it, that's a problem, right? Again, the calories are increasing. So what you add on potato, that might make things worse, but it's not even that. It's not even that. It's how you eat it, which is a problem. How, as in, like, are you eating too much? Are you eating less? Are you eating like out of nowhere, like, when you're ordering things, those burgers and stuff, and then you keep on adding these things, and like, are you have like, we don't even know whether they are refried, those fries, right? Or what kind of oil they are using, or like, are you keeping it in the fridge and then having it again? Like, what's happening exactly? How are you eating, right? And when it comes to PCOS, or anyone who has pre-diabetes, who is overweight, obese, who has insulin resistance, perimenopause is insulin resistance. As we grow older, our insulin resistance increases. This food becomes high glycemic index, as in it will produce a higher sugar spike compared to, say, olives or butter or cucumbers. Cucumber will have like such low carbohydrate glucose spike. Same goes for insulin spike, as an insulin index will be higher with potatoes. So it's not about potatoes are bad in itself, but how you're eating these potatoes. Now, let's look at the macronutrient point of view. From macronutrient point of view, as in, what are your macros? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats. These are your main carbohydrates. And when you read the labels behind, it will talk about the calories in it. Those are macronutrients. And like, we will also like divide carbohydrate into sugars. Sugars are basically refined simple sugars. So from a macronutrient point of view, so that's macro. Okay, so what is micro is your minerals and vitamins. So that's your micro. So from macro point of view, around 100 gram of potato, or white potato, or whatever, brown or yellow potato, it has around 93 kilocalories. Now, I don't teach calories in, calories out, unless that's a system you understand. And I will always tell my clients that, use the system that you understand. How you lost weight last time, let's do that. But like, don't get like so black and white around it. We need to look at the nuance, look at the in between always. So, from a calorie point of view, if you are someone who's charting calories, it has 93 calories. How much carbohydrate does it have? It has around 21 grams of carbohydrate. Of that, sugars is just zero point 0.9 gram. So rest all is a complex carbohydrate. Apart from that, the fiber is good, 2.2 grams. That's very good. Protein is around 2 grams. It still has some protein, right? And it has a zero point 0.1 gram of fat. Now, if we compare this to a sweet potato, which is also an option, is a type of potato, right? Like many people would recommend go for a sweet potato. In the sweet potato, the calories are almost similar, 90 calories. White is 93 calories. Carbohydrates is also similar, 20 grams here in a sweet potato, 21 gram in a white potato. Fiber is slightly more in a sweet potato. It's 3.3 gram, whereas white potato is 2.2. Sugar in it is a slightly higher, 4.2 grams out of 20 grams. So the sugar content is slightly higher. So there is that. But again, there is more fiber. So even if you are consuming that sugar, that fiber is going to counter, like really slow down its release. Protein is similar, 2 gram, and fat is also similar, zero point 0.1 gram. Now I'm just reading ChatGPT data, and you can do this as well. But I have a doctor brain and a mindset coach brain, so I will interpret that data. I will ask like questions which you might not ask. So if you are someone who doesn't know about AI at all, it's like Google but next level, so go and access it. I generally use ChatGPT or DeepSeek, but there are many type of AIs. There are AIs on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp also. So you can use any sort of AI. That AI is learning more about you and what you search. But we take what we want and then we forget about rest, right? Like if you are on Instagram, Instagram has your data. So you take what you want and don't worry about the rest. Like if it like ignore the rest. I mean, I would just say that. That's what I use. So, from a macronutrient point of view, both sweet potato and white potato are both low in fat, but sweet potato has slightly more fiber and is slightly more sugar, but that's balanced out with a slightly more fiber, and it also has vitamin A. Vitamin A because it's orange in color, the sweet potato. Anything which is orange colored fruits has high vitamin A. Now, let's look at the psychological point of view, or like why is it so hard to quit potatoes. Now, first of all, any sort of starchy food, including oatmeal, my daughter loves it because there's some comfort in it. And so many people who have had oats in life, they would find comfort in it. Like we would find comfort in like someone who belongs to the Konkan area or the coastal area of India. We find comfort in dal and rice, like rice. So, similarly, many people find comfort in potatoes. Like many people have consumed mashed potatoes all their life. Their mom used to make it for them. And Indian cuisines, we add potatoes in a lot of vegetables. We add potatoes with meat as well. So the potatoes are like fillers. So if there is less chicken and many people, we will add potatoes. Or most vegetables would have potatoes except for like greens, but like so many legumes that we make, lentils that we make, we will add potato in it. Potato would be a staple. If it's a bitter vegetable, we will add potato in it. Of course not in bitter gourd, but like methi, we will add potato in it. So potatoes go in most Indian dishes. So that's again like the dependency of potatoes. But so there is that comfort component, right? And suppose if you are someone who is living on her own and you have an option to order whatever you want every day, you might be ordering fries and burger, fries and this, like some takeaways, right? So fries go so well with it. And then because fries are fries, fried food, crispy, crunchy, salty, and if you are feeling low, like suppose you're living alone and you're feeling really bad day, at the end of the day, if you have fries, crispy, crunchy, you are just like lifted up, right? And the brain just recognizes that, oh yeah, she was feeling so low for whatever thoughts. It doesn't register what you were thinking. It's just like, oh, this is so low. Give her fries, she will pick her up instantly and she will feel better. So there is that dopamine spike which comes with potatoes, especially if they are fried, chips, fried, right? Regarding carb addiction, we know, like if you have followed my previous videos, potato is a starch. And if you're just having it as is, like, yes, there is little fiber in it, but there is also glucose in it. So, suppose if you were a diabetic and you have potatoes, and suppose you are a diabetic and you have sugar. So, that sugar is like you just add sugar in tea or something. That sugar is going to give you a higher spike compared to a potato. But potato will also give you a higher spike. If you're trying to lose weight, we want to keep the glucose load to minimum. So that's why they say if you're trying to lose weight, reduce the potatoes because it's a higher starch. But it also has these micronutrients and macronutrients, fiber and vitamins and minerals with it. It's a natural thing, right? So apart from the glucose and carbohydrate, it is also balanced out with these micronutrients and fiber. But if you have like stripped it off completely and just deep fried it and processed it, like the original potato in a crisp or a chip is like so less, and it's just like each chip is like a lot of oil, a lot of preservatives and the spices also okay, but if you're adding preservatives so that the crisp or the chip stays crispier, those are not naturally, those things are meant for addiction so that you keep having more of it. So there is the comfort, there is the sugar rise which will happen, which will give rise to the dopamine, and especially if you have insulin resistance and PCOS, that sugar load, if you have it with rice, it will drop quickly, that because that glucose will go in the blood, right? Because this is fast release, especially if you're not having it with more of fiber rich food or protein foods. It's going to go in your blood system very fast. Insulin is going to release very fast and you're going to experience a sugar withdrawal, as in a dip, very fast dip, and that is going to lead to cravings. That means your brain is going to be like, oh my god, the sugar suddenly dropped, she got hypoglycemia, can you please give us some more sugar? So the cravings will come and your brain will create manipulative thoughts, like very compelling thoughts, and then you will go and eat some sugar or anything, or might just go and eat more potatoes or potato chips. Okay, so there is that carb addiction associated with potatoes. Apart from that, there is a cultural role. Fries and chips is equal to social bonding. Think about parties. Like, I have a friend, anytime I go to her place, she will order fries. I mean, kids love fries. So I have a friend whose kid eats only fries because he can't eat anything else because he's lots of allergies. The fries is not. And now he is not allergic to fries. He's allergic to fries, so he can't eat that. But kids love fries. And if you have adults who love fries, and it's just like there's a lot of takeaways which happen with fries. It's like a cultural thing. Like people just like do this very habitually, recurrently, right? Um, and lastly, if there is a, if you make it like from a psychological point of view, if you make it into a forbidden fruit that you cannot have potatoes, then the desire increases even more. So you will deprive yourself, and then suddenly you will binge. So that might happen. So the brain hack for this, generally, your if you are someone who is trying to reduce their carbohydrate load, stay committed for at least 2 weeks. Once you stay committed for 2 weeks, generally the cravings drop because the brain figures out that okay, if she gets cravings and she doesn't eat glucose, then it's going to learn to go to glycogen stores. Then it's going to learn, once glycogen stores are depleted, then it's going to go to fat stores. So it will learn to build the fat burning enzymes. So you have to stay committed with it while noticing your brain, which is like getting so creative. It will call you like, you have no, we just need it, we're going to die, we're going to die, go get it, it's okay, you deserve it. Like that sort of thinking will kick in so that you go and eat that glucose. So if you can stay committed, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stay committed for 2 weeks. We're not gonna have fries. We're not gonna have any sort of chips. Chips is a big one. Like even in my house right now, I have a chips packet, and I got it especially for guests. If there are kids who are coming, like they want some chips to entertain, so I got it for them. But my husband is having every day. So, but even in that, I got those small packets of Ruffle Lays, Lays chips, and not the big ones, because the big ones means you will finish it in one sitting. But at least if it's small package, I will finish this much. So people like in India, we like crunchy, so we used to make papad, which is basically crackers, poppadums, but you can easily substitute that with chips. I used to do that. Like I would just get all kind of chips as like crunchy with my dinner. But you can say no to those chips. And it's not that one chip is going to cause you harm. It's not. But you can't just have fun. Like if you're not emotionally stable that night, it's going to lead to more chips. And then your brain will remember, oh, she gave us chips. Let's ask for it tomorrow again. Literally like a toddler. A toddler will manipulate you, a child will manipulate you so much and then start throwing tantrums so much that you get scared, right? And you give in. So you don't need to do any of that. Now, how to eat potatoes while losing weight. So this is if you are trying to lose weight, right? I'm just talking to someone who's trying to lose weight. You have to make decisions ahead of time. Is are we keeping potatoes or are we not keeping potatoes? So, first thing you would have to ask yourself, do you like potatoes? If you like potatoes, keep it. I mean, I don't mind potatoes. Like something like avocados, I hate it. Sweet potatoes, I don't like it at all. I would rather not have potatoes. I mean, I'm not gonna get sweet potatoes because I don't like it. It's sweet and it's potato. No, no, that's not the kind of sweetness I want. I would prefer my sweetness from fruits. But you get to decide if you like it, if you like potatoes, then yes, we want potatoes. Now, how are you going to have it? Are you going to have it deep fried? Are you going to have it in the form of chips? Are you going to put it in vegetables? Are you going to roast it? Are you going to bake it? What are you going to add on it? Are you going to cool your cooked potatoes because it produces that resistant starch, which sort of releases slow insulin? So you get to decide that. Now, are you going to have your potatoes as is? Like there are some people who just bake it and put salt, pepper, and eat it. I can't do that. I'm like, what is this? I'm an Indian. We we have spices, in case you don't know. We can use our spices. So and we know how to make curries and stuff. So um I don't have my potatoes just like that. I generally would um, I would put it like right now I'm making this pav bhaji, which is like basically a mixture of all the vegetables. Like you put cauliflower, tomatoes, onion, ginger, garlic, peas, and capsicum, and potatoes, and maybe some beetroot, and then we mash it, and then we put the pav bhaji masala on it, and then I have this whole paste ready, and I can do whatever I want to do with it. I can just put some crunchy onion in it and eat it as is, or I can have it with bread, I can have it with roti, I can put some rice on it, make tawa pulao. So there are, I can put it in a sandwich and I can have it. Now, I'm not clubbing it with more carbohydrates. I'm just literally having it with onions. The onion carb load is way, way lesser than a potato carb load. It's way, way lesser than a bread and a rice. So I am not having that pav bhaji, that vegetable base which is made with potato, with other refined carbs. I'm not having it with white rice. I'm not having it with bread. I'm not making a sandwich out of it. I'm not having it with roti as well. I'm just gonna have it as is with my chicken or protein, fish, whatever I'm having. So you get to club your carbohydrates like potatoes with proteins like chicken, fish, or you want like egg curry, you can make an egg curry, boiled egg curry, or I don't think you can put it in scrambled eggs. I mean, there are some people who do it, right? Like that Spanish omelette is something like that. So you can club it, potato with it. Now, if you're gonna have baked potatoes, like some people put a lot of butter on their baked potato, do that if you can. I wouldn't deep fry it, but I would put butter or olive oil when I'm roasting it because those are some heat, what do you call? They oxidize lesser, something like that. I am not a nutritionist, so understand I'm just like calculating with my doctor brain. So you can club it to reduce, to slow down the glucose release. You can club it with fats as well, like olive oil or avocados, or you can use fiber like spinach or broccoli, anything which has high fiber. Just do not deep fry your potatoes into chips or hash browns or French fries. And also don't have giant portions, right? Like mashed potatoes, people will tend to have a lot of it. Limit yourself. Understand these are the decisions you can do ahead of time. Like, what about potato? I will do. And this can seem very analytical, and I can help you with it as a coach, but at the same time I ask my clients to like unleash their brain on these decision making. Like don't just expect me to do the heavy lifting because we meet like once a week, right? And I cannot, like, it's just 1 hour in a week and we cannot make that many decisions. So you would have to like access that analytical part of your brain who makes those decisions. And the beauty of it is like my clients come up with like such amazing recipes, some amazing strategies, and I'm like, good job. We access that part of our brain, which comes up with solutions, which comes up with like innovations, inventions. Like, think about there are so many recipes, so many food, like keto industry or like low carb. Like, you can join any of these communities and see the number of recipes people have invented. They were humans too, and they did it out of necessity, right? Like, I can't eat these food. I have made decisions like I'm not going to eat it this way. I need to eat it this way. So you can come up with those solutions. So reduce the portion, do not deep fry. Two important things around potatoes. What you do, proteins, add good fats with it, add fiber with it. Now, how to eat potatoes when you're maintaining weight, when you have lost the weight and you're trying to maintain your weight. I would say anything in maintenance, like try to stick to what you're doing, which help you lose weight. But at the same time, like if you want to have 3 meals a day, start with 3 meals a day. If you want to have potatoes 1 meal or 2 meal a day, so add potato for say 2 meals. Do it consistently for a week and then see if you gain weight. If you gain weight, don't be scared. You know how why you gain weight. Maybe it is the potatoes. So you can like the next week you can reduce the potato. Like instead of having it in 2 meals, keep it in 1 meal. Have it every week, 1 meal a day. You're having 3 meals, and of that 3 meal, 1 meal has potato. If you check if you gain weight or lose weight. If you gain weight, then you have to decide, okay, maybe it's the potatoes. But then for women, we are also premenstrual sometimes, and then we will gain weight. So I might still continue doing the experiment if I really like potatoes once a week, let's see, or like 1 meal a day. Now, if you're still gaining weight with potato, then you would have to like decide, okay, can we reduce the days? Can we have it like alternate days or every 3 days or just have it on the weekends? Because most of my clients can easily follow something very basic and not so entertaining for the weekdays. On weekends, they want something entertainment. So you can allow yourself to be disciplined on the weekdays, and on weekends, be mindful around potatoes. Like if you want to have potatoes, say even French fries, you can plan French fries and see what are the effects of French fries on your body. Do you gain weight? Do you have like allergies? Do you get loose motions? Like, what is happening? Like, for me, generally, I get start getting itchy throat because of the kind of oils they have used. I don't personally make French fries at home. There are certain dishes I make at home with potato, which is fried, but then it doesn't like really harm me, and I don't particularly like it, so I don't care for it. I would just put it in the vegetables. So if it depends on how much you like potatoes, and if you are reintroducing potatoes, you'll have to be mindful, and you'll have to still run experiments around what does that potato create in you. Now, if you have done the kind of work which I teach, where you are like experimenting every week and you figured out how you lose weight, so your brain already knows how I lose weight. And when you're reintroducing these food items, the work continues, right? Because we want to figure out, how do I maintain weight for the rest of my life? What are the foods which cause me to gain weight? What are the foods which cause me to lose weight? How do I eat which makes me gain weight? How do I eat to lose weight? So once you have this information, then maintenance will be easier. Don't give up. Don't give up doing the thought work. Don't give up doing the strategy work in maintenance, because most people slip. They think that, now we lost the weight, now we don't have to worry, but they go back to old habits. And sometimes they're fully aware that the old habit has kicked in, and they know this is going to cause them weight because their body is telling them, but they ignore, and they gain it back. And then there's so much shame of, how did I do this? Don't let that happen. This is where coaching support comes in so handy, because what a coach does, like, here I'm just giving you advice. Coaching would be like me asking you, why did you do that? And it can seem very intimidating when I say that way, like, why did you do that? Now, I don't say it so bluntly, I will be very gentle about it, but like, let's get curious. Why did you do that? And then the answers might come up, right? Like, why did you do that? Like, can we address the core problem? No, I was a bit stressed at work, and I didn't like the way I was looking, or I had my periods, and I don't know what was happening. Like, it could be so much. It could be like what I go through is not what you go through. So that's where the coaching support comes in, because I'm not just giving you advice there, I'm asking you, why did you do that? Okay, excellent. We know this is a sort of something which happens recurrently for you, and we need to figure out a way out of it so that you don't do that anymore by solving the real problem. So, and the coaching relationship is longer. My basic coaching relationship I offer is 3 months, especially around weight loss. But it can go around for a year, 2 years, depending on however long, how much ever weight you want to lose, and however long you need the coaching support, where you set the goal and you want the coach to help you till you get till you get to the goal, right? So, in your maintenance journey, you might want to experiment. Portion control will always need to be there. Like, don't let potatoes be your main meal, but like, let it be a side. You can always like exercise, like eat potatoes after exercising, or if you have eaten potatoes, exercise after that. I generally exercise after that. Like, if I eat something which is high in carb, I will eat that carbohydrate rich food and then go for exercise, or like walk more, and that's enough for me. I don't have to like run or lift weights. Walking is enough, it helps me. So you can do that. Now, there is also one more thing that you can do, is like, learn to mindfully eat while you're not distracted, while your brain is not focused on anything else but just food. So, no screens, no talking to anyone. Try, even if there are other people around you, like, try to just like mindfully eat, like, become aware of the sensations which are happening in your body, because your body will tell you when you're full. And if you eat fast, you will miss it completely. So, slow eating, enjoying every bite. Get up once you're full. Like, there is little guilt which comes. I think I should stop now. Get up, stop, keep the fork down, keep the spoon down, get up, walk around, take a break, change the location, come back to it. Like, the food is waiting. Just say, like, I'll just wash my hand. My daughter will always, like, she has no issues with getting up, right? Kids, like, she's eating a fruit which demands her to use her hands. She'll eat that fruit, then she'll come running to wash her hands, and then she'll be like eating with a fork. So you can do that too. Why are we like constantly eating so fast, right? So, I mean, get curious about what you might like. Now, apart from that, we might also find substitutes to potatoes. I personally, I'm like, I like potatoes the way they are. I like it in fries. I won't have too much. I'll have a few of them just for taste. If it's really good, I might have more of it. But I particularly never order fries or any sort of potatoes. I love potato chips. And generally, I will go for the potato chips only if I'm very emotionally unstable. And I'm like, I'm happy somebody kept potato chips because, I know it will help me feel better. But don't take it for like that. Like, I don't feel so unstable every day. Like yesterday, my husband was eating and he went and got his potato chips and he put potato chips on pav bhaji and ate it. And he did some weird concussion. He's like, have. And I was like, nope, I'm okay. They finished a pack, two packs. I didn't even touch it. And I had my food. I was having carrots and I was like, I am okay because I was emotionally better. So now I can see these things. And now I appreciate when I emotionally eat sometimes that I understand that there's something happening in my body and my brain and I need to explore that. So get curious about what's happening instead of just like telling yourself that you're so stupid, you shouldn't be having feelings or you shouldn't be feeling bad or you shouldn't be scared or something. You are a human being. So be human. Okay. So if there's one thing that you can try to start today, I would recommend if potato is your sweet spot or like something which you go to your emotional food, try to commit for 14 days or 2 weeks to like no potatoes. Let's see what happens. If you especially add potatoes in everything and you're trying to lose weight and you think potato is a culprit, just tell yourself we're not having potatoes for 2 weeks or decide that we're going to have half of whatever we're having. And if you order in someone, if it's there in front of you, you can always share it or take it in a smaller plate so that you reduce the amount of sweet potatoes which have come. Also, if you're okay with sweet potatoes, you can replace your potatoes with sweet potatoes and try that. We want to eventually not reach a point where we can't eat anything. We don't want that. We want to reach a point where we are fully in touch with our body signals and we can eat anything, even rubbish, and know that your immune system is so strong because you have taken such good care of your body that it will fight it off. Like my daughter, sometimes I will eat her food which she has eaten. Now, if my immune system is poor, I will get sick. But I never get sick. I sleep with my daughter on a regular basis, lots of hugs and kisses. I just don't get sick. Everyone in my family will get sick except me. I just don't get sick because I take good care of my body. And I hold this belief I just don't get sick. Of course, I get sick sometimes, but I hold this belief that I am someone who doesn't get sick. And when I think this, my brain hears this, and I actually don't get sick. All right. So, when do you reach out to a coach, a mindset coach around food issues like this? If you see yourself constantly binging or depriving, binge deprive on chips, and you just can't seem to stop, and there's like a lot of guilt and shame around it, you can't seem to do the work which I offer, you can't stick to any of your plans because you have so much cravings, or you just have PCOS and insulin resistance and you think that no matter what you decide, it doesn't work, consider getting supported because we we can trust our brain, but then your brain is not letting you trust your brain. So you might need an outside perspective which might shake up the belief systems and might help you, like, okay, you know what, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to see my coach and like get same kind of coaching every week. I'm like, let's just do this damn work because otherwise I'm gonna be like again getting coached over the same thing. So let's just try what she's saying. So that can also happen in a coaching relationship. And sometimes we just need someone to hear and stop us from when we are like constantly attacking ourselves. All right. So there is a place where we can put our spoon down, where we can take that steps out, where we can decide, okay, we're not having potatoes anymore, or we can decide to share our potatoes with someone. All of this is possible when we have aligned thinking. Because sometimes there is no aligned thinking. We are thinking, you're watching this video till the end, and you're like, when it's time to implement, your brain will be like, oh, I deserve it. We'll start tomorrow. Oh, potatoes is not a problem. Like something like that is active. That needs to be interrupted. And I specifically come into that thought work. And I can help you find and align with the thinking, which can help you eat mindfully, consciously, so that you don't just lose weight, you build your immune system and just stay healthy and do these amazing things that you always want to do. All right. I hope that's enough for today. I will see you next time. Bye.